Welcome, this is Renee, and this is a 42-minute Vinyasa style class. We'll begin in Child's Pose, so come on down. It is an intermediate advanced flow. I do move pretty quickly in this one. Lots of balances and challenging poses. Just take a breath in and exhale, let it go in Child's Pose. Start to crawl your fingertips forward and engage your elbows off your mat. Glue your finger pads, sink back into your hips as you exhale. Start to crawl your finger pads over toward the right side. Stretch the left side waist as you sink back into your hips. Crawl your hands over to the left side and sink back to stretch the right side waist. Hands back to the center and shift up onto all fours, tabletop. You can tuck your toes under here as you gaze up, tailbone lifts, heart forward. And exhale, round and curl. Relax the tops of your feet, chin to your chest, navel in. Tuck your toes, bend your elbows, cow pose. Exhale, relax the tops of your toes, cat. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone lifts, draw your ribs open. And exhale, squeeze the navel in, tuck your tailbone, chin to chest. Come back to a neutral spine, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers out wide, press away from your mat. Outer shoulders will spin down, pedal out your feet. Take a moment here, relax your head. Send both heels down, then shift into high plank. Make an adjustment if you need, shoulders in line with your wrists. And exhale, downward facing dog. A couple breaths here. Crawl your hands towards your feet for ragdoll. Feet at hip width distance. Grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Shake your head out, yes and no. Drape your chest onto your thighs and then crawl your hands back out to high plank. Squeeze your navel in, point the crown of your head forward and shift it back, downward facing dog. Couple breaths. Take those hip creases up and back. Feel a stretch in your Achilles tendon and the backs of your knees and your calves. Inhale your right leg high, open out your hip, circle the ankle, and then knees, knee to nose. Round it out, gaze forward, step it through, back knee down, low lunge. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, cactus, lift your chin off your chest. Inhale, straighten the arms, plant the hands, shift back, half split. Glide your right heel forward. Take a breath in to lengthen, and exhale, fold. Plant the sole of your right foot down. Lift off your back knee. Right arm reaches high. So stack your right hand on top of your left. Shoulders in line. Squeeze your navel in as you twist. And maybe take a bind. Just release your right hand back behind you. And come back to high plank and lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, cobra, roll through the neck to lift your chest. Exhale, release, tuck your toes, press up, high plank, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, left leg up and back, bend your knees, circle your ankle. Straighten the leg, knee to your nose, squeeze it in, gaze forward. Low lunge, release your back knee down. Inhale, arms high, press your hips forward, cactus with your arms. Inhale, straighten the arms, plant your hands, shift back, half split. Glide your left heel forward, flex your toes, breath in, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Plant the sole of your left foot down. Tuck your back toe under, lift the back knee, left arm reaches high, and maybe take that bind. Place your back of your hand on your lower back as you open your heart. Left shoulder pulls open. Then release your hand down and high plank. Lower all the way to your mat. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. Release. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes. Inhale, high plank. Downward facing dog. Let it go. Rise to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Gaze forward. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Flat back up. Palms touch over your head. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Gaze up. Exhale, flat back. Swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Chaturanga. Take it halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Take your time. Roll your shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Rise to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Step or float. Top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Gaze up. Exhale, flat back, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Chaturanga. You can float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog, knees lifted, heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rise to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Float it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Gaze up. Exhale, flat back, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step it through. Spin your back heel down. Open out, warrior two. Heel toe your back foot back. Find your depth. Reverse your warrior. Big peaceful warrior. And exhale, float your hands down. Flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Knee to nose, warrior two. Spin your back heel down. Open it out. Find your depth and reverse your warrior. Big peaceful warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. And exhale, flow through chaturanga. Elbows in, chest open, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana, chair pose. Weight back into your heels. Draw your outer armpits down. Space away from your chin and your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Float. Make sure you land with your elbows bent. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Right leg high. Step it through. Spin your back heel down, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Rotate your ribs up towards the sky. Take a breath. Bicep a little closer towards your ear. And Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Aim your forehead to the mat. You can walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that flat back. And exhale, pull into the stretch. Come on all the way, shoulders in line with your wrists, and shift back to surfer lunge. Left toes roll open. Sink back, shoulders lifted, heart expands forward. Feel the stretch on the right inner thigh. Back to Prasarita. Inhale, both arms high, and warrior two. Peaceful warrior, breath in. Float your hands down, spin to the ball of your back foot. And standing leg split, left leg lifts high. Draw your left outer hip down. And step your left foot to meet your right. Chair pose, arms lift up, sink back into your heels, hands to your heart, and twist left elbow, right knee. Press your right palm into your left and draw that right elbow up towards the sky. Take the right shoulder back and start to twist your neck to gaze up. Take that left knee slightly back to square off your hips. Sink your hips a little lower than your heart. Inhale, reach your arms back up high. Keep that low chair and twist other side, right elbow, left knee. Press your right palm, or your left palm rather, into your right. Find that twist as you draw your navel over to the right side and you twist in your upper back. Gaze over the shoulder and forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, float through your vinyasa. Land with your elbows nice and bent in your chaturanga. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg lifts up and step it through warrior two. Spin your back heel down. Come on all the way up, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm, top of your left thigh. Rotate your ribs up. Bicep close to your ear. Lengthen through your right elbow. Spin your ribs high. And Prasarita, toes in, heels out. Forward fold. Aim your tailbone and your sit bones up towards the sky. Find that nice big flat back. Surf or lunge. Rotate your right toes out. Your left toes up towards the sky. Sink back and down. Start to lift your shoulders up, chest up. Maybe even lift your chin off your chest. Use your right elbow to gently press into their inner thigh. Come back to wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, arms straight up and warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, float your hands down, spin to the ball of your back foot. Standing leg split, right leg lifts high. Draw your chest towards your thighs. Then send your right outer hip down, lift from your back inner thigh. Flex your back foot. Step it down, chair pose, weight into your heels. Nice and low. Hands to your heart and stand proud and tall, shoulders down. Tree pose, right side, right foot either above or below your knee. Relax down in your shoulders. Grow tall through the back of your neck, crown of your head. Widen and draw that right knee open. Concentrate on that dristi. And maybe you expand your arms up towards the sky. And find a brighter shape with your chest. Beam your heart up towards the sky. And the hands float down and back towards your heart. Right knee in. Cross it over your left. We're going to spin over your left shoulder to face the front. Hands back to your heart center. Left knee comes up. Left foot above or below your knee, tree pose. Hands to your heart. Find your dristi or balance on that right foot. Start to lift your arms up. Stand proud, stand tall. Shoulders relax down. Lots of space between your chin and your chest as you shift your gaze. Hands draw back to your heart center. Left knee comes in. Cross it over your right. Spin over your right shoulder and forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up. Knee to your nose, step it through. Squeeze your inner thighs, crescent lunge. Biceps close to your ears. Start to draw those hip bones forward and cactus. Lift your chest open. Draw your elbows back. Then wrap your arms, right elbow over your left. Round out through your upper body. Start to gaze down. Draw the right hip crease back. Spin your back heel down, open out warrior two. Straighten your right leg, triangle pose. Use the back of your right hand on your inner ankle as your left fingertips reach towards the sky. Good. Find that space between your right ribs and your right thigh. Start to spin your ribs up towards the sky. Give it a good breath as you gaze up past the left fingertips. Come back to warrior two. Heel toe your back foot back. Find that space. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle. Nice long depth here. Maybe that half bind or full bind. Yogi's choice. Just open your heart. Draw the shoulders back. You can use the right elbow to gently press into the inner thigh. Press the knee open. Sink the right hip down. The pelvis points forward. Extend your left arm over your head. Square off your hips. Come to the ball of your back foot. Expand your right arm up. Big twist. Both hands down. Flow through your standing leg split. So just lift your left leg up. We'll go ahead and balance. You can draw your hands around your ankle. Maybe the elbows come around your calf as your chest forms closer towards your thighs. Keep your drishti. That'll help your balance here. And chair pose. Left foot meets your right. Eagle. Right arm under your left. Right knee comes up and over your left. Sink back into down as low as you can go. Think chair pose here. Start to lift your shoulders more in line with your hips as you lean back into your chair. Block your drishti with your wrists. Start to point your toes down if you have the full bind. So they're pointed down towards your heel. And slowly unwind. Step it back through a crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. So left leg forward. And exhale, warrior two. Interlace your hands behind your back. Humble warrior, breath in. Exhale, fold. Draw the left hip crease back. Knee in line with your ankle. Feel the outer edge of your back foot on your mat. And maybe bend into the left knee a little deeper. Sink the hips a little lower. Arms over your head. Feel the stretch in your chest. Chin to your chest. Let your head hang. Then back to warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Flow it through. And plant your hands, Vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Use the full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up. Give it a breath. Knee to nose. Step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Shoulders down. Chin lifts off your chest. Weight in your front heel and cactus. Beam your heart open. Draw the elbows back. Start to find length in that back knee more. And wrap your arms, left arm around your right. Give yourself a hug as you round out through your upper body. Draw the left hip crease back. Feel the power in your glutes as you bend it even deeper. Chin towards your chest. Think cat pose in your upper body. And let's go ahead and open it out to warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Straighten that left leg, triangle pose. Use the back of your left hand on your inner ankle. Feel the power in your core, so squeeze your navel in. Stack your right hand in line with your left and start to gaze up past the right fingertips. Huge stretch behind the back of the left knee and the inner thigh. So see if you can find more length there. Straighten in the knee without hyperextending. Start to draw the ribs open and up towards the sky. And bend into the left knee, warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Extended side angle, left forearm, top of your left thigh. Knee in line with the ankle, so make adjustments if you need to here, and maybe take a half bind or a full bind. With that half bind, as I am here, just press your elbow into your inner thigh to open the left knee back. Then broaden in your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades back to open in your heart. Send the hips down, tuck the left glute under, and press the pelvis forward. Keep that bend in the left knee. Lots of power in the quad and the hamstring. And reverse your warrior. Float your hands down, spin the ball of your back foot. Right leg lifts up. And play with your balance. Draw that right hip nice and low. Left hand, then right hand around your ankle. Maybe those elbows come around your calf. Find the drishti on your mat, a place where it feels comfortable to maintain that balance. Point your right pinky toes down towards your mat to square off your hips. Maybe your hands stay around your ankle and just sweep all the way up as we come into chair pose. Right foot meets your left. Inhale, arms lift high. And eagle left side. Left knee comes up and over. Left arm goes under. Start to lean back. You can draw your elbows a little higher. And notice that you are blocking your drishti with your wrists. So it's okay to wobble a little bit here. Just take a deep breath. And sink into the pose. Soften in your jaw. And unwind, step it back to Crescent Lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, open out warrior two. Heel toe that back foot back and humble warrior. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open out your chest and exhale, forward fold. Draw that right hip crease back. Knee in line with your ankle on the front leg, so make sure that you're bending pretty deep. This is a pretty powerful pose. Then come back to warrior two. Reverse your warrior, big peaceful warrior. Float your hands down and flow through chaturanga. High to low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rise to the balls of your feet, breath in. Float your feet outside your hands for Malasana Yogi Squat. Sink down and use your elbows on your inner thighs to gently press your knees open. You can stay here or take a crow pose. Start to heel toe your feet a little closer together, feet underneath your hips. Elbows in, think chaturanga arms. Gaze forward and lift your hips even higher. Start to draw your heels towards your glutes and float through your vinyasa. Downward dog is where we're headed, so if you'd like to just step back to down dog, you can do that as well. Soften in your jaw, right leg high. Knee to nose, step it through. Crescent lunge, inhale, arms lift up. Hands to your heart and twist left elbow, right knee, revolved crescent lunge. Dig your weight into your front heel, bend into the knee, come high up on the ball of your back foot. Start to find length in that back knee as you twist in your upper body. Hold right here and breathe. All right, gaze forward, lift your left leg up. Standing leg split just to pass through to chair pose. Eagle, right leg up and cross it over your left into half moon. So your right leg comes up and opens out. Left arm down, right arm up. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Squeeze your navel in, squeeze your shoulder blades. Start lengthen through both knees. Flex that back foot. Maybe you find a balance and step it back through warrior two. Nice and soft in your landing. Float your hands down and Shiva squat. Right knee behind your left. Right leg comes all the way up. Let's cross it over. Take that spin over your left shoulder and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose, step it through crescent lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs, arms come all the way up. Revolved crescent lunge. Find that twist, right elbow, left knee. Expand your heart open, squeeze your shoulder blades. Twist over your navel. Make sure your left big toe is planted into your mat. You're high up on the ball of your back foot. Gaze forward, plant your hands down, step it through, half split to chair pose. Eagle, left side, left leg comes up and crosses it over, left arm under your right. Shoulders down, take it into half moon. Left leg lifts up, open out that left hip as you come down. Maybe your fingertips don't even touch the mat. Squeeze in your shoulder blades. Find your fullest expression here. Breathe. And step it through warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Nice and soft on that landing. Float your hands down. Lift your left leg up. And Shiva. Knee behind your knees. Sink those hips low. Work your glutes. Chest lifts. Palms together. Then press into your standing leg, left knee up and cross it over the right. Just take that spin. Inhale, arms lift high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Soften in your jaw. Give it a breath. Open out your mouth. Exhale. Release it down to child's pose. Soften in your elbows. Stretch in your arms to walk your elbows forward and in towards your head. You can take your fingertips towards the back of your neck. Stretch in your triceps. Then slowly bring your arms back forward and make your way to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up. Step it through. Step your right foot, heel toe it to the outer edge of your mat, both hands on the inside. Then reach your right arm down. Take that right shoulder underneath the right knee. Then maybe you have that full bind as your left arm comes behind your back. Maybe your peace fingers are wrapped together. Maybe your right hand grabs a hold of your left wrist. Ooh, just take that moment. Your hands can also be just placed on the mat. And stretch your hips and come back to downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Step that left leg to the outer edge of your left foot. You can rock into the hips and then walk your hands out. Right arm behind your left. Scoop the left shoulder underneath the left knee. Then take your bind wherever you can grab a hold of. Lots of power in the quad here. Sink down, just give it that breath and then unwind. Lift your heart and flow through chaturanga or straight back to downward facing dog. Rise high on the balls of your feet. Inhale. Float your feet. Oh, we're not there yet. Downward facing dog. Okay, right leg up and back. Half pigeon, my favorite. Shin parallel to the top of your mat. Let your elbows melt down. Your chest folds down. Hips squared. And this is the moment where you get to slow down. You get to slow down in the mind, the body. And relax into the stretch. The body should be very heated here, so you should be able to get a little deeper than normal, but With your exhale, just melt into your expression. Let the upper body go. The forehead melts down. And breathe. Breathe in the back side of your body. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Tuck your back toe under. You can lift your right leg up and open out your hip. Bend your knee. Step it back behind you. Flip your dog. And come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. And scoop it through half pigeon, shin parallel to the top of your mat. Hips squared. Crawl your elbows forward if that's accessible for you. Just draw that right hip slightly down. Make sure both hips are squared. And take a few breaths, imagining that your spine starts to lengthen. The crown of your head is an extension of that spine. Then when it feels comfortable on that exhale, you can dip down into the pose and relax. Maybe flatten out your chest on your thigh. And a few deep breaths. Shoulders relax down. Let the chest go. And slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. Tuck your back toe under. Maybe flip your dog left leg up and back. Step it back behind you. Lift your hips. Extend your heart. Reach that top arm over. Maybe it comes into full wheel. And flow through chaturanga or straight back. Oh no, we are headed to Locust Pose. So come on down onto your bellies. Lift your chest. Reach your fingertips out. Point the crown of your head forward. If you're a little more flexible in your back, you could start to lift your chin off your chest. And take it back to child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. Hero's pose. So start to lift up. Knees will stay wide. Big toes are touching. Then start to lean back. Your hands can touch maybe your elbows. Maybe you come all the way down onto your back. But make sure that your knees stay onto your mat. You'll stretch in your quads. If you feel a pinch in your lower back, just come up further, that you've just gone down too far. Maybe your elbows clasp over your head. Good, couple of breaths. You can have your eyes closed. And start to unwind if you're fully on your back. Use your elbows to press you up. Use your center, your core strength. And shift back to downward facing dog. And you can float your feet through if you went to down dog, or just swivel your legs around for Paschimottanasana. Grab a hold of your big toes or the outer edges of your feet. Flatten out your back. Point the crown of your head forward. Take a breath in. And fold, exhale. Lift your chest up. Plant the soles of your feet to your mat. Reach your arms forward. Squeeze your center as you lower halfway. And continue to lower your lower back down. As your knees pull into your chest, give yourself a hug. Your hands wrap around your shins. Come to happy baby. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Rock it out side to side. You can press your feet into your hands into your feet. Open your arms out to a T. Shift your hips over to the right, knees in. Knees fall to the left as you gaze to the right. Big twist. And knees back in. Lift your hips. Shift them over to the left. Knees back in and over to the right as you gaze to the left. Find the stretch in your upper body as you twist. Use your inhale to deepen the pose. Knees draw back in. Center out your hips. Reach your fingertips towards your heels for bridge pose. Lift your hips up. Squeeze your glutes. Continue to press away from your mat. You can interlace your hands and rotate your shoulders under. Lift your hips even higher with an inhale. And lower all the way down to your mat. Option for another bridge or wheel pose. Plant your hands back behind you. You can widen out your hands to the edges of your mat. Give more space for your shoulders. And press up a couple breaths in wheel pose. Point your heart beyond your wrists. And tuck your chin in and slowly lower down to your mat. Knees pull in, wrap around your shins to give yourself a nice big hug. Rock it out side to side. A couple of rock and rolls. And feet over your head for plow pose. Take your hands to your upper back. Use your hands to assist your hips over your head. Maybe your toes dangle and touch back behind you. Then walk your elbows in a little closer for shoulder stand. One leg up and then the other. If you can get your hips in line with your shoulders, that's awesome. Just continue to press your hips over your face. And you want your toes to stack in line with your hips. So just start to press your feet away from your face. So hips towards your face, your feet away from your face. Then dip your knees down for Deaf Man's Pose. Knees will wrap around your ears. Release your hands and slowly roll your spine down. Lengthen out your legs for fish pose. Arms will remain by your side. Just press down into your elbows and allow your heart to lift up and find that openness in your chin from your chest. Gaze back. A little pressure on the top of your head. And slowly take it back down to your mat. Knees in, give yourself a super big hug. Back to happy baby just because it feels good. And Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet touch, your knees wide. One hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Relax your breath. Just feel the rise and fall of your chest, of your belly as you breathe. Allow yourself to be in this space. And send a moment of gratitude and love for showing up to your mat. And when you're ready, release out into your final resting pose for Shavasana. You can rotate your shoulders under and slightly dip your chin to your chest. Take a full breath in. And release all your body weight, all your energy from the class. Just let it go. Take this moment to restore and rejuvenate. You can begin to reach your arms up over your head as you take a deep breath. Bend your knees and roll to your favorite side. Use your arm as a pillow. And gently press yourself up to a seated position in Sukhasana. Hands to your heart center. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste, yogis. Until next time, blessings.